Hello and welcome or welcome back. I am Tavish Cardiff, one of the co-founders of the Our Raw Material practice, here for some weekly guidance on the 12 pillars. It is Food Week this week, which means we are delving into what we call our architect, the belief system, the mental weeks, the way that we were formed. This particular session, our guidance is a little more meditative, meaning it's focused on the breath. It's not a meditation. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to sit down, but relaxed, comfortable, and aware of breathing is the state that we're going for. Diving right into that belief system, I want to spend a little time breathing. So get control of the breath. It doesn't really matter what system of breathing you do. It's more awareness, and I would even recommend taking time to see where something's tense. Like as I sit here, I've got a shoulder that's feeling a little tense. So I'm just going to take a deeper breath into that shoulder, push on the exhale. And I think that anytime we start to breathe into our body, we find places that are tense that we didn't even know were there. So let's call up our belief system and just ask yourself about the influences that have gone into what you believe, your news sources. Just take a moment to assess whether you trust them. The people that you go to for advice, do you trust what they give you? Do you believe them? Do you take it in? There's not a wrong answer here. It's more an awareness of what we're dealing with. Are there people you rely on more than you rely on yourself? How self-reliant are you? How trusting of your own belief system are you? We all suffer disappointments in trusting people or learning something that we didn't know before. How do we handle those things? And do they force us into a system of not trusting ourselves, or is it something more external? These are thoughts to ponder. Occasionally, they bring up a sticking point or a trigger or something that makes it harder to breathe. And that's where we're really going to work here. We all have such a different belief system. I don't want to go too far into what creates our individuality, but I would have each of us do that as we take one more deep breath, big exhale, and imagine yourself in a beautiful kitchen. Before you is a big bowl, and you are surrounded by all sorts of ingredients. They can be food, they can be herbs, they can be rocks, they can be any of the things that you feel like you need as part of your own sustenance. So emotional components, nutrition, things for healing, things for energy. Pull everything that you can think of that you might like to try into a little ball of energy, and we're just going to fit it in our hands. I like to make it pink and sparkly because I think that pink sparkly energy lights things up. But if you don't want it to be pink, choose something else. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you concoct something that you can, with your imagination, pull together in your hands like Play-Doh, turn into a little sparkly, beautiful, lovely, slimy jelly stuff. And we are going to go use it as a salve in those tight spaces. So I mentioned my shoulder earlier. I am going to just imagine that pink sparkly energy showing up right in that supraspinatus tendon and being exactly where I need it to be, down in that little tiny crevice where fingers can't get. And as I inhale, I feel it expand. As I exhale, I can feel a little bit of that tension go away. So let's use that in all of the pieces of our body that feel any tension. And again, you can go back to that kitchen, you can go back to that bowl anytime and create a new one. An energy, an elixir, a tea. I don't really care what you call it, and I don't care what color it is or what it really looks like. It's the effect that we're after. So however this comes to you, that's how you're going to use it. Something that helps break up tight spaces when our belief system gets stuck. Mentally, we make so many adjustments and our intellect has to hold so many things, and it holds all of the things that our body goes through. So when we don't want to think about something, we tend to just shove it off somewhere in the body. And here is where we go through and we find those places. We make them happy. We make them healed. We make them whole. We make them whole by acknowledging where they are with our breath. An exhale helps clear. And we can find a way this week to revisit some of our core beliefs and make sure that they are things that are still strong with us. We trust how they got here. We trust what we believe about them. And if we find that we don't, go looking for where your belief really lies. Don't rely on an old system of believing. Know that this piece of you moves, changes, and grows with every new piece of information that you get if you let it. Sometimes our beliefs are the only thing we feel like we have to hold on to, and we hold them strongly even when they no longer serve us. So be willing to be open, to find the spots that are tight, to offer them something sparkly, pink, and healy. And with your exhale, clear that so that the things that you believe serve you. I will be back next week to talk about ignorance and how all it really is an opportunity for knowledge. Thank you. Have a great week.